Alright, I know I look a mess, but it is what it is. I just wanted to talk about These Violent Delights while it's still fresh in my mind. I finished listening to it last night. My cats are wondering who I'm talking to. But I gave it a 3-star. I almost gave it a 2-star. And I feel like I'd seen people enjoy this book, but then I read a lot of reviews where people just did not like this book, and I went into it without reading reviews or really reading what it was about. I'm really bad about just, oh, I like this cover. I like this title. Let's read this. And there was like hardly anything in this book I actually enjoyed. And I felt so bad, like giving it such a low score. But I didn't like the characters. I didn't like the writing that much. I didn't like the narration because I listened to it as audiobook. I felt like the narrator, I feel like she probably does a good job, but the most of the main male characters that she voiced like in a quiet whisper kind of thing. Even when they were like yelling, screaming. I read that it was a Romeo and Juliet retelling. And I guess I can see a very basic nod to Romeo and Juliet, and that the two main characters are from opposite, like, mobster families or something. Gangster, I think, is the term they use. Um, but yeah, I felt like it had a lot going on. Like, you have these, I kept calling them mafia families, but gangster families, and they're doing their business, and they're fighting each other. There's like a blood feud. But then there's also this other thing going on. I can't remember. It's in the summary. I don't want to give any spoilers, but it's almost like a, not really a horror story or sci-fi element. I don't know how to describe it without giving it away. But that was going on alongside these two gangster families' squabbles, which also kind of go along with the past history of the two main characters, while their world, the bigger picture of where they live, there's like all this political unrest going on, which they're kind of involved in or like fighting. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just there's a lot going on in this book, and I feel like it's almost too much because I felt like there was a lot going on but not enough of each element. Like, I would have rather it focused more on these characters or their families or this sci-fi horror kind of thing, or even maybe just the political unrest. I just felt like it was too much, I guess. And I feel like that detracted from the book because it just didn't give me enough of, I don't know, it just felt unfinished almost to me, even though it's very wordy and very, I just really didn't like it, and I feel really bad saying that. It's just I made myself finish it because I wanted to know how it ended, and then it ended on a cliffhanger, which was kind of irritating because we didn't need that cliffhanger. It's just I didn't like the characters, I didn't really like the writing, I didn't like the narration. It's rare for me to just come across a book I don't like, and I think I've had two this year, so it's weird. So I think I'm going to have to be a little more choosy about what books I read. I know I keep not looking at the phone. I look like this and then I see myself and I'm like, no, I don't want to see that. Anyway, so if you've read this book or listened to it, what did you think of it? I'm not going to read the second one because it was such a chore just to get through the first one for me. And if this is like your favorite book, I'm sorry. But everybody has different tastes, and this just was not the book for me. And I'm sure there's people out there that love it and love the writing and love the, I guess, Romeo and Juliet retelling. Like I said, I can see that there's a nod towards it, but I felt like it wasn't really a retelling. because I love fairy tale retellings, and I guess that would be a play retelling. You know what I'm trying to say, right? I'm rambling now, so I will stop. But yes, these violent delights just was not it for me, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you. Bye bye.